Council agenda, Township Parsippany-Troy Hills, regular Township Council meeting of May 20th, 2025. Introduction, posting of notice. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Law by filing notice in the office of the Township Clerk and by posting the meeting notice on the bulletin board at the Municipal Building on December 2nd, 2024, which remained posted since that date. A legal notice appeared in the Daily Record and the Newark Star Ledger on December 6, 2024. May I please ask everyone to stand for the flag salute?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Here.
Mr. McGrath.
Here.
Mr. Musella.
Here.
Mr. Neglia.
Here.
Mr. Karifi.
Here.
Also in attendance are Mayor James Barbario, Business Administrator Jamie Cryan, Township Attorney Michael Lavery, CFO Angelica Sabatini, and the Municipal Clerk Colette Madden. Council President, we have a quorum, so we can begin.
Please.
Thank you. Upcoming meetings, June 3rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. is the agenda meeting. June 17th at 7 p.m. is the regular meeting. Moving along to ordinances. Second reading and public hearing. Ordinance 2025-04. Bond ordinance amending bond ordinance number 2023-18, finally adopted on September 19, 2023 by the Township Council of the Township Parsippany-Troy Hills in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, to amend Section 5 therein. The notice of ordinance 2025-04 was published in the Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, on April 21st, 2025, and introduced at the April 15th, 2025 regular meeting. Motion to accept ordinance 2025-04 be heard in their second and final reading by title only.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Public hearing, can I have a motion to open a public hearing for ordinance 2025-04?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, the public hearing is open on this ordinance only. You have 5 minutes to speak only on this ordinance. Okay, seeing no one, motion to close.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Musella. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Whereas the above ordinance was read in title on second reading and hearing held thereon, now therefore be it resolved that said ordinance be passed on final reading and that notice of final passage of said ordinance be published in a newspaper according to law. Motion to approve the resolution above for ordinance 2025-04.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance 2025-05, bond ordinance providing for the construction of a treatment facility for public well 20R by and in the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, appropriating $5,200,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $5,200,000 bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof. The notice of the ordinance 2025-05 was published in a Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, on April 21st, 2025, and introduced at the April 15th, 2025 regular meeting. Motion to accept ordinance 2025-05 to be heard in its second and final reading.
Motion. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Musella. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Motion passes. Public hearing. Could I please have a motion to open up the public hearing?
Make a motion. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, the floor is open to the public to speak on this ordinance only. You have 5 minutes to speak. Okay, seeing no one, motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Floor is closed. Whereas the above ordinance was read in title on second reading and hearing held thereon, now therefore be it resolved that said ordinance be passed on its final reading and that the notice of final passage of said ordinance be published in a newspaper according to law. Motion to approve the resolution above for ordinance 2025-05, please.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Motion passes. 2025-06, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township Parsippany-Troy Hills, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, authorizing the township to acquire sanitary sewer access easements on portions of Block 698, Lot 15.02. The notice of The notice for ordinance 2025-06 was published in the Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Township Parsippany-Troy Hills, on April 21st, 2025, and introduced at the April 15th, 2025 regular meeting. Motion to accept ordinance 2025-06 to be heard in second and final reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Can I please have a motion to open up the public hearing for ordinance 2025-06?
Motion. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. McGrath. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, the floor is open to the public to speak on this ordinance only. You have 5 minutes to speak. Okay, seeing no one, may I please have a motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2025-06?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, floor is closed. Whereas the above ordinance was read in title on second reading and hearing held thereon, now therefore be it resolved that said ordinance be passed on final reading and that notice of final passage of said ordinance be published in a newspaper according to law. May I please have a motion to approve the resolution above for ordinance 2025-06?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance 2025-07. An ordinance of the Township Council of the Township Parsippany-Troy Hills, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 329 entitled Sewer to amend Sections 5 Public Sewers and Connections. The notice for ordinance 2025-07 was published in the Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Township Parsippany-Troy Hills, on April 21st, 2025, and introduced at the April 15th, 2025 regular meeting. Motion to accept ordinance 2025-07 be heard in second and final reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
May I please have a motion to open up the public hearing for ordinance 2025-07?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. McGrath, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, the floor is open to the public. You have 5 minutes to speak on this ordinance only. Okay, seeing no one, can I please have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call. Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Floor is closed. Whereas the above ordinance was read in title on second reading and hearing held thereon, now therefore be it resolved that said ordinance be passed on final reading and that notice of final passage of said ordinance be published in a newspaper according to law. Motion to approve the resolution above for ordinance 2025-07, please.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hernandez, seconded by Mr. Musella. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath, Mr.
Yes.
Musella,
Yes.
Mr. Neglia, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance 2025-08, an ordinance of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, Morris County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 430, zoning of the Code of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills. The notice for ordinance 2025-08 was published on a Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, on April 21st, 2025, and introduced at the April 15th, 2025 regular meeting. Motion to accept ordinance 2025 to be heard in the second and final reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
May I please have a motion to open up the public hearing for ordinance 2025-08?
Make a motion. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. McGrath. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath, Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, so the floor is open on ordinance 2025-08. You have 5 minutes to speak only on this ordinance.
Good evening, council.
Oh, hold on. That's my apologies.
I could be loud.
Don't worry, because I'm going to be putting all this in the budget. Hello.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening, council members. I appreciate your time. I'll make it quick. On section 5F, number 11, it just goes over a class 5 cannabis retailer. It's specifically speaking about a building or building lease area within 100 feet. I just wanted to ask, say you had 7 people in a plaza, like a shared space, would you measure from the corner of that whole building, or are you talking about a building lease area of like a single dispensary? I've seen dispensaries in like a, you know what I mean, like a plaza, so they're unit alone from a residential, or is it from the building itself? I just wanted to clarify what you meant by that.
Is that your only question?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's from the building, it's the
So if it's multi-unit, it'd be-
retailer itself. If it's multi-unit and it's 1,000 feet
Yeah.
beyond, that doesn't get counted. It's from 100 feet from the
so just
actual.
the unit within the building
Yes.
area?
Yeah,
But not
so-
if we didn't own the rest of the area?
If the storefront's 100 by 100,
Okay.
let's say, it's from that 100 by 100.
Okay.
Corner of that building, not if it's in
The
a
whole-
mall or, for me to rent.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it.
That's all tonight.
Thank you.
You can come up, Nick.
That was one of the things that you wanted to.
Yes, just for the ordinance.
You say the last person did not state their name and,
Did you sign the book? Oh, wow, you broke some serious laws here. I don't know if we...
Thank you, Nick.
No, no, no.
Could you just state your name?
Gina DiMatteo.
No, we just need, you don't need to stay. You can sign the book. Thank you, Nick. We appreciate it. Anybody want to issue a summons here? Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Nick, we got a job for you.
So no one else? Seeing no one else? Okay, motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2025-08.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia. I'm sorry, who seconded that?
I did. Yeah.
Mr. Musella. Okay, so, motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Musella. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath, Mr.
Yes.
Musella,
Yes.
Mr. Neglia, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Whereas the above ordinance was read in title on second reading and a hearing held thereon, now therefore be it resolved that said ordinance be passed on final reading and that notice of final passage of said ordinance be published in the newspaper according to law. May I please have a motion to approve the resolution for ordinance 2025-08?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia. Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Motion passes. I'd like to entertain a motion to open up the public session, please.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Musella. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, the floor is open to the public. You can speak on any matter. You have 5 minutes to speak. Please state your name and sign the book. I guess we have no one coming up?
Nope.
Okay, we start. Okay, there you go.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and township residents. My name is Gina Wintermuth. I am here tonight as a mother with a heart that has been heavy and a voice that I can't keep silent. I'm speaking for my son, Anthony Wintermuth. Anthony has worked for this township sanitation department for over 15 years. It's more than a job to him, it's a legacy. A department partly built by his grandfather, Pete Cuso, a man who devoted his life to this town and served with pride until the day he passed. Anthony followed in his footsteps, dedicating nearly half of his life to serving this community with the same sense of duty. Recently, Anthony found himself caught in the middle of a political firestorm through no fault of his own. Many of you likely seen the video. It shows Anthony, unaware he's being recorded, picking up a discarded campaign sign for Justin Masella that was lying next to a resident's garbage can. He gave a thumbs down and tossed it in the truck. That moment, harmless, even silly, wasn't political. It wasn't personal. The truth, Anthony isn't even registered to vote. He doesn't know who Justin Masella was. He was simply reacting to what looked like trash and to the disrespect of someone discarding a campaign sign. But instead of handling it privately, Mr. Masella chose to post the video publicly. The Parsippany Patch and Parsippany Focus then picked it up, printing misleading and damaging claims. They accused my son, without factual support, of stealing a sign from someone's lawn. They called him a thief and a thug. They printed his name and his salary. They claimed the sign was on the lawn at 8 a.m., but Ring camera footage later proved that the sign was gone by 6:52 a.m., and the sanitation truck did not arrive till 8:30 a.m. Some say, what's the difference? The difference is truth. The difference is character, and it shows the haste of wild accusations. The impact of these false accusations has been devastating. My son has been vilified by strangers and members of his very community. The comments have been cruel. One even suggested putting bear traps in garbage cans, something so violent and absurd and shockingly came from Mr. Masella himself. This is bullying, this is dangerous. And to accuse Anthony of wasting taxpayer money, he is a taxpayer. He pays into the same system he serves. Where was the Parsippany Blue Collar Workers Union when this happened? The Parsippany Focus quoted them saying, "They're here to serve township residents." but you serve your members, the very people who pay dues for your protection. It's your members who serve this community. Yet in their moment of need, you stayed silent. Now my son's name is out there, online forever. Anyone who searches his name sees his story. A moment of levity turned into public shame, and the toll has been heartbreaking. Since the incident, Anthony has suffered severe anxiety. He's been to the emergency room twice in a township ambulance. His mental health is destroyed. I want to thank Mayor Barbario and Anthony's coworker Mike, who stood by him during one of these episodes. You saw firsthand the pain this has caused. Anthony has always been a man of discipline and heart. He's a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo and competed in 2 Junior Olympics. He served as a volunteer firefighter for over a decade, running into danger to save lives. He's worked tirelessly for this town, even though it took a toll on his body. After years of lifting heavy trash cans, he underwent spinal fusion surgery. He can't even hold his 2-year-old daughter without constant pain. He can't play hockey or skate, things he once loved. And yet, when lying on the bathroom floor shaking, unable to breathe, he looked up at Mayor Barbario and said, "I need to go to work tomorrow." That is who Anthony is. I am employed at the largest sanitation company in the state for over 2 decades. Anthony could have come work there for higher pay, better hours, but he stayed in Parsippany because he believed in serving this town, because he believed in Parsippany. No mother wants to see her child suffer for something so trivial, so twisted. I don't wish that anybody goes through this, a friend or foe. Parsippany is better than this. You don't have to be part of the national trend of outrage, bullying, and petty politics. But someone needs to be held accountable, not just for the harm done to Anthony's reputation, but for the damage to his health, his peace of mind, and his future. Maybe he made a silly gesture while picking up your dirty diapers, dog waste, and spoiled leftovers. Can anyone here honestly say that they've never done something silly to survive a hard day at work? People of courage and character own their mistakes. Tonight I ask, is there anyone here with the courage and character to offer my son the apology he deserves? Thank you for your time.
Any other member from the public?
Barney Clarkin. Good evening. I've spoken before with the council. I'm here tonight to discuss some budget concerns that I have from the April 29th budget hearing, as well as the May 6th council meeting. As you know, I'm a retired certified public accountant and regularly look at the budgets. So during the April 26th budget hearing, the sewer superintendent stated that the only big change in his budget, and I hope you can hear me, is that the health insurance cost went up $1,500,000 compared to the prior year. When Councilman Musella questioned this, the superintendent repeated it. So separately, the township's CFO stated that the cost of health insurance went up about 6% in 2025. Then at the May 6th council meeting, Councilwoman Hernandez addressed the sewer utility issue again. She said that the budget package showed a sewer utility health insurance cost going up by $1,500,000 to a total of $4.2 million, which is a 55% increase. This confirmed that the increase that the superintendent mentioned was true. Councilwoman Hernandez added that the water utility health insurance costs went up by a similar percentage, although from a lower base, because they have less employees. Then she went on to say that the total cost of health insurance for the sewer and water utilities in 2025 came to $6.7 million in round numbers in the 2025 budget. Now that's right, and she added it's roughly half of the $13 million cost of insurance that's shown on the user-friendly 2025 budget. All right. This is absurd. The 2025 detailed budget on the town's website shows that the sewer department's salaries and wages amount to about $5 million. So the health insurance cost of $4.2 million is almost as much as payroll. That's crazy. The $4.2 million is not shown on the town's detailed budget because it's hidden in a bucket of $13 million of other expenses. So I can't show that to you, but that's where it must be. A similar pattern shows up on the water budget. Another way to look at looking at this is that there's about 49 or 50 sewer employees in town, which represents about 10%, excuse me, allergies, 10% of the town's workforce. So if you took that 4.2 million and multiplied it by 10, you'd come to $42 million for the entire cost of health insurance for the town. That number is absurdly high. There's no way that's the cost. It's got to be something in the neighborhood of 13 million for the town's health insurance true cost. So this is another way to raid the sewer and water utilities to benefit the general fund. This year, these utilities are being charged an extra $2 million in my estimation for health insurance that should be in the general fund expense area. In the past, utility budgets, utility budgets showed this money as a separate line item in the budget, but now it's hidden under overcharging for health insurance. So again, it just doesn't make sense. And for $5 million of salary to have $4.2 million of health insurance costs in sewer is absurd. I'm going to add the lack of transparency on this is only exceeded by the lack of integrity involved. The administration has
30 seconds, sir.
What?
30 seconds.
Has actually bragged that the sewer and water departments are not being raided. The administration will try to spin this differently, but there's no good reason for the sewer and water utilities to be charged $6.7 million for health insurance. So my question is I'm asking the other council members if they looked into this, and if so, how do they justify it? Thank you.
Can I jump in there?
Yes, please.
So it's not actually a $1.5 million increase. It's actually a $276,000 increase in sewer and $174,000 in water. The total health insurance for water is $3,074,000, and the total for sewer is $4,876,000.
Thank you.
So it was just Council President, quickly.
Go ahead.
So this is it's a difference. It's cleaning up sub accounts, putting them all into one account. There's printing issues with admins. As far as the transparency goes, we have our auditors, independent auditors, who take a look at this budget before it goes out and are very clear and straight with us to make sure that we don't do anything wrong. After that, it goes down to DCA. DCA takes a look at this, and DCA right now is actually considering a bill regarding sewer and water utilities. So this is an issue that is top of their mind right now. If they found any issue at all with our way of doing things, they would have 100% flagged it. And Ray, if you don't mind, did they mention anything about this?
No, the division completed their review without any comment relative to health insurance.
Okay, thank you. So this is not an issue that was on their radar as something wrong. It was a mistake on our part with the printing and the way that we did it, and we're sorry for that. But it's not an issue where $4.2 million is being rated from any utility or anything along those lines. These budgets have been online, have been submitted to the state, have been independently reviewed by auditors multiple times. So if there was an issue that egregious, it would have been flagged.
Thank you.
Any other member from public?
Excuse me.
Nick Komiak from Lake Hiawatha. I'm here to bring your attention and in hopes of supporting a resolution for I'll read it. It's a reduce plastic pollution. We need companies, not individuals and communities, to take responsibility for the packaging they produce. Reducing excessive packaging waste, banning toxic materials like PFAS, lead, and vinyl chloride. They actually should have added mercury. Mercury and vinyl chloride are used in plastic production. Saving taxpayers' dollars and supporting municipal recycle programs is the condensed the bills. But right now in the United States of America, we have very little, if any at all, producer responsibility. And the efficient cause of all this plastic pollution, which is really an ongoing crime. They say crime's down, not in single-use plastics. It's all over the place in those pictures I showed you and everything. And I believe our tax and tipping fees is approaching $3 million. So if you have good practices and you source separate, you're dragged down with everybody else. You look in any trash can on the avenue, everything is all mixed up. It's totally out of control. The only way to get a handle on it is to have these producers pay and to eventually reduce the production of these senseless single-use plastic products. So I made a copy of the Senate bill, which is 3398, and the Assembly bill is 5009, wrote a letter to all the appropriate people. And I'm asking you to look into it and support the legislation.
Can you give Colette a copy of that?
I certainly will.
Thank you.
But we all know that we've created an abnormal norm, and it's just not right. People see this all the time and they accept it, and they shouldn't accept it. It's a terrible thing. It's actually a form of ecocide. We even have microplastics they're finding in our body and everything. It's a laissez-faire thing that just got out of control, and the only hope is to get it under control. And New Jersey is wise enough to be one of the states to address the issue, because the federal government that we have right now is, you can do just about anything you want. But if you got a lawyer to pay the money, you can interpret the Constitution. So I'm going to leave it with Colette, and maybe we can give it to the Environmental Committee, and the sooner a resolution, the better.
Yeah, thanks. You're giving it to Colette?
I'm going to bring it over to you.
I had seen that, and I think it's a good idea, especially since we're spending tens of millions of dollars in Parsippany, reducing PFAS. But, right, I mean, the water treatment, we have to remove it, so they're redoing a lot of the water treatment in Parsippany, and it's very expensive, and we're going to be paying for it. So if we could, in the future, reduce it, like you're saying, that would be pretty good. So,
All right.
it's necessary. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you, Nick.
Any other member from public? One more.
Tony Fasano, 41 Robin Hood Road, Morris Plains. I'm here tonight for the disgrace that was placed against one of our public workers and our extremely investigative Parsippany focus. This gentleman, Mr. Musella, has claimed issues against every person on the council and the mayor. Now he does it against a public employee who can't defend himself. So I have a present for both of them, since they're two pieces of shit.
Shouldn't.
Any other member from public? Okay, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion to close the public session.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by, Mr. Neglia,
Neglia.
seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath,
Yes.
Mr. Musella,
Yes.
Mr. Neglia,
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Motion passes, the floor is closed. Moving along to the budget, resolutions are 2025-101, authorizing the 2025 municipal budget to be read by title only. Motion to approve the resolution above.
Just,
Sure, no,
yeah,
go ahead.
really quick. I had sent over some cost-saving measures to the council, before, and I wanted to see if, there was any willingness to entertain some of the ones that I had proposed.
So, you want to have that discussion for the second one for the adoption?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
That's
do
fine.
that.
Okay.
So, can I get a motion and a second for this, please?
Motion?
Because we're just reading this one in. So that's Judy, Ms. Hernandez, and then second?
I'll second it, sure.
Okay, Mr. Musella. Roll call, Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Okay, moving along. Our 2025-102 for this, we'll get a motion, then a second, and then we'll get into the discussion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, fantastic. We'll go ahead. Resolution of the Township Council of Parsippany, of the Township of Parsippany, adoption of the 2025 budget. Motion made by Mr. Neglia and seconded by Ms. Hernandez. At
Wait,
this
before,
time-
I
Go
wanted
ahead.
to, yeah, I just wanted to talk about the email I had sent with some of
Well,
the,
at this time is when we're gonna do the discussion. We're not going
Okay,
to roll.
all right.
So this is the time for discussion. So go ahead, Mr. Musella.
yeah, no, I just, I had sent over, to rewind the tape, I had a great meeting with B.A. Cryan and CFO Sabatini. I put forth some of the suggestions that came out of that meeting, and for the merit that I feel, they should be introduced as a means to actually lower the size and the scope of the increase, to get us closer to a balanced budget while being mindful of any impact it would have on township services.
I mean, I'll start. I reviewed your list. I talked to Mr. Cryan about it. Me personally, I don't feel that would be beneficial. One of your items was you wanted to use $600,000 in surplus to bring the budget down, which we've gotten away from, which I know Mr. Venezia loves. Another thing was the tax assessors, his legal funds. I mean, right now, last year, we got hit with, what was it again, $1 billion?
It was the township attorney, not the tax assessor.
Okay, the attorney. Again, this money, just because it was great, we didn't have to use it one year. The following year, if we get more legal matters in, we're not gonna have that money in there. I think this budget is rock solid, if you ask me my opinion. It's $4 and change a month. I've spoken to our auditors about it. They said everything is on great. The town's in a good place. We're working. Our surplus is continuing to grow. I just think that, I brought up every matter. I discussed every matter with Mr. Cryan, and every answer he gave me satisfied my questions that I had in addition to your questions. And so I just think it's good the way it is.
Yeah, I have to agree with President Karifi. Using the 600,000 in surplus, I don't think that's a good idea. We remember what happened before when we started using surplus. We used all our surplus, and then we wound up with $8 million deficit. And I don't think we want to go down that path again. I think it's a sound budget, and I don't think we need to use the 600,000. Looking at some of the other items you mentioned, eliminating the vacant positions in the mayor's office. Personally, I think the mayor needs some assistance in there, and is a very busy office. I know everyone that's in there does an outstanding job, but a little bit of extra help I don't think would be a bad thing. And those are things that have been in the mayor's office prior and I wouldn't agree with that either. Looking at the vacant position of communication specialist and keyboard clerk in the BA's office, we all know how overwhelming the BA has and all the amount of work he has in there. Just go in there and look at how much he has going on, the different piles in his office. So I would recommend to the BA that he hires someone to give him some assistance with all the overwhelming amount of work he has. Now, this one kind of troubled me because I'm involved in a lot of parks and fields and everything else. Eliminating the $63,000 for the park attendants, I don't agree with that. They don't just check the parks or check, the bathrooms and observe, and they do a lot more than that. And we've done some improvements on our parks, as you should know. I would expect that we hire these people to assist with the parks. It's been the history of the parks and the recreation department to have these people employed. So, I mean, not too long ago, one of our new turf fields, somebody pounded a bunch of 2x4s into it to utilize it for one of the sports, and it caused an immensely amount of damage. On top of that, Volunteers Park, a lot of the playground equipment was put ablaze a while ago. In addition to that, the bathrooms, the gazebo, damage to other more turf, it's been a lot of vandalism. So I think, it would be a good idea to have a park attendant come back because we've had it for 20-plus years prior, and I think it worked out pretty well. So maybe you're not aware of all the damage we incurred and all the things that they do, but they do a lot more than just check the bathrooms. They watch for out-of-town people using our fields who cause damage. And out-of-towners are constantly showing up to use our fields. I know that for a fact. Not too long ago, I was down at Lake Park, and a group of people from out of town showed up at the field down there as we had a little t-ball game going on, and they brought out tents, they brought out music, they brought out barbecue grills. We had just about finished the game and left the field, but I saw what they were doing. They made a mess. This is a problem. This takes income away from the town, and it chases the residents off the fields, not to mention all the damage they can cause. And I think that's something we need to be concerned about. For many years, we did have park attendants, and it lessened the vandalism and misuse of our parks and fields. The park attendant complements the police and are trained to notify management in the event of any maintenance issues or any field use issues. In the past, the police knew when an attendant was on duty and they corresponded with the attendant. The park attendant has a record of who has the permits for the fields and for the parks and for the picnic grounds, and they stay on top of that so that it's not misused by people who don't belong there. So I think that's a benefit to the residents and to the town. I feel very strongly about that, especially being involved in all the things I've been involved with on the parks and fields. Looking at the administrative costs, I mean, consulting fees, I saw we had $36,785 and was a $50,000 budget. That's really not much to think about taking. A budget it gives you a ceiling and a guideline not to exceed. I don't really think that's much that we really need to cut. A grant writer, we only spent $19,800, but we had $40,000. Well, I would hope we exceed the $40,000 and get a lot of grants. That's my personal opinion on that, and I wouldn't touch that either. But there's a lot of different opinions out there, and we both have different ones. I respect yours, and I hope you respect mine. The tax assessor, okay, we had $256,000 in legal fees. I'm aware of that, but I'm also aware that we have $1 billion in tax appeals.
Just so we're clear, it's a township attorney, nothing, it's not about the tax assessor.
Well, it says, all right, well, in any event, and that's my mistake, I thought you meant tax assessor.
No.
Okay.
It was a township attorney
Okay,
fees.
then,
No offense, Mike.
Okay, that's fine. But in any event, we do have a lot of tax appeals, and I think we need to be cognizant of that because we are going to spend some money in there. Regarding the master plan, I mean, I think that's something we need to look into. $5,000 is pretty much a minute number, so, I think the administration needs to look at that, and I'm sure, with all we have coming on in this town, with all the different things happening, I think that's something we need to look at, and I think 5,000 is sufficient. So, just my opinion. I respect yours, and that's mine, but I think, costing the taxpayers less than $5 a month for everything we have in the budget, and not to forget the public safety of the 10 new officers, and, all the other things we have going on with the rising cost of benefits and everything else and settlement of contracts. I think it's a solid, rock solid budget, and I'm pretty proud to say that I worked on it with the Finance Committee.
Okay, you guys finished discussing this, or, because I do want to talk, but I want to kind of move on to my comments.
You, not about the budget? Is it
It's
about
about
something else?
budget.
It's about the budget. Then
But,
you're
I
more
mean,
than welcome. It's
overall-
discussion. This is discussion, so, you know.
Okay. So, thank you, Bernie, for coming up. I did speak with, Ms. Sabatini and, Mr. Cryan, and it is confusing to me too, a little bit, how, just looking at the budget's very confusing, and I think I'm pretty smart, but I understand, and I understand your point as well. So I just have a kind of a statement that I wrote, and I'm just gonna read it, okay? Because there's just been a lot of back and forth on debates, on things that have been written, people that keep saying certain numbers over and over again, so, and I might not be that popular at the end of this meeting, but for the record, I would like to comment on statements made time and again here in writing, in public, on how we got here in 2025. There has been a lot of conversations about the state of Parsippany in 2021. How does a town grow a surplus? It grows from the money coming in. Revenue is the hotel and retail, municipal court fees, traffic, summonses, coming in, monies that come in maybe under the anticipated budgets that were allotted, such as job vacancies that might have been there in the budget for a long time, changes in costs, taxes, etc., or your taxes. Over the last 3 years, the overall tax bill for Parsippany has increased upwards of about 22% for Parsippany residents. Surplus. In many years past, budgets were balanced on the use of water and sewer surpluses. Many years past. Those departments were once at risk of deficit. Then the interest on those loans became due. Mayor Soriano weaned Parsippany off the practice. Didn't say he didn't do it either, but weaned off the practice, and the town made emergency sewer repairs that were needed in cash, not bonded. And then it was 2020 and it was COVID. So it decimated revenues. Just putting it out there because we keep forgetting that, and people keep talking about $8 million. There wasn't $8 million. In 2021, there was not the surplus there was in 2018, but the deficits were not as large as has been stated. But this is 2025. There are so many troubling national issues and reckless federal actions that may affect us that we cannot underestimate the financial impact on our residents. And it might not be from Parsippany, it just might be Medicaid or whatever. These things are happening to people in what might be happening to people in Parsippany. In this budget, though, there is a bit of shuffling of funds, I admit, and funded vacancies that have been long-standing, as you pointed out. This budget does have a surplus, though, and I think passing this municipal budget at this time is in the best interest of the town, for security and quality of life, and for us to continue to work for the residents of Parsippany. So although I had a mouthful to say about some of the things that I wasn't thrilled about, I do think I am going to vote for this budget.
Any other discussion? Okay, Mr. McGrath, I don't know, you moved up like you were going to discuss something.
No, I would just comment that, I appreciate Councilman Masella always putting thought into the budget. So certainly he and I have talked many, many, many times over the last 2 years around budgets. With regards to this budget, one of the biggest issues I heard from everybody we talked to, when I asked them the same question across the board, is what's the number one thing you need? More people. So I would be very hesitant to pull more people out of the budget. And I also do have a big concern around surplus. Last year when we talked about it, one of my big thought process was we need to increase surplus so that we can get better bond ratings. We reissued $76 million in bonds, BA, was it? Remember the number?
I don't have the number.
I don't remember, but we reissued it by increasing our surplus and getting favorable bond ratings. So we've proven that having a surplus is of value to our town, regardless of who is the mayor in a year and a half, right? Whoever sits there needs to have a surplus so that we can have the right bond rating. So for me, I think it's a great budget. I'm concerned that some of the people said they still need more people, and we don't have enough people to satisfy those needs. And like I said before, and I'll offer it again, we have great kids in town who can help fill those roles. If they are vacant and continue to remain vacant, we should look, how can we help as a council go and work with the schools to get those roles filled? So that's just my thoughts on it.
Okay,
Just to be explicit on a couple of things, because the proposed utilization of the surplus is coming from the general fund, so we're not taking from any utilities, which I know has been controversial in the past, but I would, and I do agree with Councilman McGrath that we do have significant amount of positions to fill, and if we can at least redirect this money for better use, is, where I would like to see the money go, or provide some modicum of relief to taxpayers, because, when I talk to people, they are hurting right now. People are trying their best to make ends meet, just like every homeowner. So, I will agree that this is the best budget I have seen since I've been on council, but we've gone through a course of almost 25% in the last 4 years to get here. And that's led to this situation that we're in. So I just wanted to clear up that. But the park attendance is a new expense. It was an expense that was here last year, and it wasn't in previous budgets. And then when it comes to the vacant positions that I highlighted, these are positions that are going on 3 or sometimes 4 years, and I don't want the mayor to think I'm picking on him, but, the confidential aide or the chief of staff position is going on 4 years, and that's almost $400,000 over that course of time that we could have redirected to equipment, personnel, and so forth.
Okay, now that we've had all
Can I
this,
just make one comment, if I may? Nothing real big, but with regards to a comment that was made tonight, with regards to the 2020, the COVID era and all that stuff. We got to where we got because of special dispensation. That the local finance board will never ever give a township. Very rarely will you see a township, and Ray, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, will get special dispensation. What that basically means is the former administration didn't have to follow the local finance laws for that year. They could estimate the costs. And how did we get to the $8.5 million? By estimating over. Estimating revenues over, anticipating over, under anticipating expenses. That's how you got to the to that portion. Now, we had the American Rescue money that the township received. It really should have been used for capital improvements. It should have been used for things like that. Instead, it was used for revenue, which when I became the mayor in '22, once it was used for revenue, we had to use it for revenue again. So to sit here and say that our surpluses were healthy, but understand when I took surplus from the sewer utility, we replenished it. I always monitored it, always made sure, but over anticipation of revenues is what gets you to the $8.5 million deficit, and that's how we got there.
Why wouldn't you use the revenue during COVID if there was no revenue coming in?
My point is that it was used for revenue. Since it was used for revenue and not for capital improvements, we're behind, number one. You over-anticipated on hotels. They anticipated $2 million in revenue to come from hotels, and only $1 million came in. So right there, you're $1 million down, which means that when you come under your anticipated revenues, you got to make it up in the following year.
But don't we have that in our budget now?
No, we don't have that.
Anticipating some of the budget before they come in.
Obviously, we're not. Obviously, we have a budget that's balanced. We have all those things. Remember, in order for him to balance it, he had to get special dispensation. That was the only way to do it. As you know, that went all the way into the fall almost, the budget being approved, because the council did not want to approve that. And then they wanted to bond $3.3 million to pay expenses. So to sit here and say that it wasn't over-anticipated, it sure was. Because you had to go to the DCA, you had to go to the local finance board to get those things approved, because it's not allowed. and they got special dispensation. I come in, if we asked for special dispensation, the answer was no. So we had to tighten our belts. So that 14% increase the first year was due to the fact that 21 and 22 was over-anticipated and under-anticipated in expenses.
Any other discussion? Okay.
I'll change my mind.
Okay.
No.
So at this time, we're going to go ahead and go into roll call. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
No.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes 4-1. Moving along to the consent agenda, be it resolved, all items listed with an asterisk are considered routine and non-controversial by the Township Council will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless council members so request, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. McGrath. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Okay, moving along to the approval of minutes. Can I please have a motion to approve the minutes above?
Make a motion?
Can I get a second?
The second.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Motion passes. Presentation reports, Mayor?
Yeah, I don't have my real good glasses on, so excuse me if I... Well, first, spring is in full swing in Parsippany. There's so much to celebrate this month, and I would like to start with the 2025 budget. It's my obligation as mayor to ensure the township is spending every dollar we have towards the need for Parsippany residents in a responsible, efficient, and effective way. This year presented both a challenge and an opportunity to methodically review how we do things for our residents and their future. This budget continues my commitment to tightening our belts and being mindful of your hard-earned dollars. I'm excited about this budget, not only because it is the lowest increase in years and much lower than the rate of inflation and the cost of living, also because it's an excellent reflection of the conservative fiscal acumen and responsibility we have demonstrated for you over the past 3 years. It shows our demonstrated commitment to fixing the township's finances and position our finances very well, not only for 2025, but into the future. This year's budget reflects a modest 2.13 overall increase in the tax rate. The municipal portion increase is 2.22%, which is $4.95 a month, $59.41 a year impact to the average residential home. We understand that any tax increase is a burden, and that is why we have worked diligently to keep this increase as low as possible. I work hard, and my administration works hard to engage with the community, gather feedback, and ensure that this budget reflects the values and needs of our residents. I appreciate the time and effort that so many of you have taken to share your thoughts with myself and the Township Council, and I'm grateful for your continued support as we navigate these difficult times. This budget comes at a time of rising financial pressure, not only on our township government, but also on our residents. Like many of you, we are facing increased utility costs, higher health care expenses, and other fixed costs affected by inflation and recent market uncertainty. We know these pressures are real, and they are being felt throughout our community. Despite these challenges, we have worked hard to craft a fiscally responsible budget that keeps our township on path of safety and sustainability. Our goal is to maintain the service that matter most to you while keeping the taxes as low as possible. When you gave me the honor of returning as your mayor in 2022, I spoke frankly. The dire straits the town's finances were under in the past administration. Prior budgets were underfunded, as I just explained, overly tight and not realistic portrayals of what was necessary to run the day-to-day operations of the town. Fixing our financial position allows us the flexibility not to only make significant and strategic investments in the areas most requested by residents, public safety, public works and paving, parks and recreation, but also offers us the opportunity to fill vacant positions to provide our employees with the backing to support enhanced customer service efforts for our residents, now and in the future. The 2025 municipal budget continues to face economic challenges similar to those all households and businesses are facing, but we have been preparing and planning. I'm enthusiastic about the 2025 budget, and I appreciate those members approving the budget tonight because it shows our demonstrated commitment to fixing the township's finances and stopping the kick the can down the road mentality. It positions our finances very well, not only for 2025, but for years to come. We have made difficult choices to ensure that the budget remains balanced, prioritizing essential services while foregoing new major additions to the operating budget. The one exception is public safety. We must continue to invest in the safety and security of our community, and as such, we are expanding our commitment to public safety with investments in equipment, software, and most importantly, manpower by adding 10 new police officers this year. We are continuing our $300,000 investment in our volunteer squads, ambulance, and rescue and recovery. And we are committed to expanding our open space, parks, and recreation facilities. It is crucial that we continue to prioritize public safety. These additions will help ensure that we maintain response times and services for our residents. Public safety remains a cornerstone of our thriving community, and we are committed to investing in it despite the pressures we face. Together with the Finance Committee and our professionals, we have worked hard to provide our residents with a responsible budget that is responsive to their needs. I'm grateful for all your hard work on this, and I look forward to your partnership in moving forward. Now, our fight against the New Jersey Builders Association. I'm excited to announce that a major milestone has been reached in our fight against the New Jersey Builders Association, with the court siding with the township on our numbers. This is a critical step forward for the township and a great result combating the special interest of big developers. Accordingly, the decision and order fixes the township's present need obligation at 130 affordable housing units and the township's prospective need at 496 affordable housing units, which represents 57-unit reduction in the DCA calculation of 553 housing units. I've always felt that lawsuits from New Jersey Builders Association was outrageous and unacceptable. The sad irony of the unfunded state mandate of affordable housing, or high-density housing, I like to call it, in New Jersey is that this lawsuit is further proof that developers have and continue to drive the affordable housing agenda. Builders should not have a place at the table when deciding how many affordable housing units should be constructed or where those units should be located. And I'm grateful to the courts that they agreed. PD promotions. Parsippany-Troy has the most outstanding police force in Morris County, if not the state of New Jersey. And it was an honor and privilege to celebrate 6 officers who have tirelessly served our communities as they step into their new leadership roles this week. I know Lieutenant Thomas Glasniak, Lieutenant Earl Kinsey, Sergeant Ryan Taylor, Sergeant Gregory Blade, Sergeant James Seeger, and Sergeant John Kaling will all continue to make us proud. Mayors in Morris County. I had the great honor of participating on a panel about local government issues put on by the Morris County Economic Development Corporation and the Morris County Chamber earlier this week regarding redevelopment pilots and affordable housing. The mayors in Morris County, regardless of party, are doing a great job of coming together to exchange ideas and work together, and I'm grateful to be part of that as we tackle the important issues. Parsippany's Memorial Day Parade. Let's come together as a community to honor and encourage the courage and commitment of all who made the ultimate sacrifice defending our nation at Parsippany's Memorial Day Parade on May 26, 2025, at 10 a.m. That's where we're having the ceremony, and the parade will be at 12 o'clock, starting on Civil Way in 202. Summer concert series is back. I'm excited about the return of our favorite summer tradition, including the upcoming summer series. Gov Pilot numbers. We've had 1,141 calls into the Gov Pilot. 95% of them have been closed. That's 1,083. 1% open. That's 11. 4% in progress, which is 47. Tonight, I'm excited to add to the amount of open space that we've preserved since I've been mayor. Of course, with the council's approval. I am pleased to announce that the Township of Parsippany-Troy has come to terms on a price of $2.5 million to purchase excess property at St. Christopher's Church. This approximate 10 acres of land has been the subject of numerous applications before the Township Board that frankly have traumatized residents in that area. The time has come for Parsippany to acquire this property by using its open space trust fund to ensure that this land will stay preserved forever. These open space trust funds have been approved by the voters to use for purposes like this. I want to thank Father Luis Hernandez for being a good partner and a pillar of faith for our community. These funds will be used to improve the structure of his church in accordance with the applicable law. For those residents who live in the surrounding area, this means you will never ever need to worry about a development on this piece of property. Once the township purchases the property with open space funds, it can never be sold to a developer. I will be asking the council to introduce an ordinance to acquire this property and approve the contract as early as next month, with a closing to occur sure after the property is subdivided. Acquiring this open space is consistent with my policy of redeveloping existing, underutilized, and vacant commercial buildings while seeking to preserve as much green space as we can. My time as mayor, I preserved approximately 170 acres of land. I think 130 is the Forge Pond, where Whole Foods is another 11 acres, 17 acres over on Knoll Road, and this 10 acres here, and I can't remember the other one. Cosset property. In closing, and this is important, I would like to take a moment during National Public Works Week to recognize and thank the incredible men and women of our Public Works Department, their dedication to keeping our town running smoothly, whether it's maintaining our roads, managing snow removal, ensuring clean parks, or responding quickly during storms. Often goes unseen, but it's always essential. This year's theme, Advancing Quality of Life, perfectly reflects the impact public works professionals have on our daily lives. They work tirelessly behind the scenes to build, maintain, and improve the infrastructure that allows our community to thrive. To all our public work employees, thank you so very much for your commitment, your hard work, and your pride in serving Parsippany. Thank you. I could keep going, but I don't want to.
Council? Okay, nobody from council wants to speak? All right, we'll move on. Go ahead.
You go first, you got.
Yep, so Economic Development Team alongside Mayor Jeannie Barbario will celebrate the one-year anniversary and welcome new management of the Goddard School located at 311 Smith Road with a ribbon cutting celebration on Friday, May 30th at 3 o'clock. We invite the community to join us in recognizing this local business and its continued investment in Parsippany and its commitment to serving our residents. The Economic Development Committee welcomed AV Marketing Group located at 10 Lanedex Plaza West with a ribbon cutting ceremony on Thursday, May 15th. And the Economic Development Committee is excited to announce that the grant opportunities to support local businesses with critical funding will continue through 2025. Eligible businesses may qualify for grants ranging from $5,000 to $50,000 to reimburse costs associated with interior and exterior enhancements and the purchase and installation of new furniture and fixtures and equipment. Economic Development Committee's next meeting is on Wednesday, June 2nd at 6:30 in the third floor conference room at 90 East Halsey Road. Public is invited. Please RSVP with Chairman Frank Cahill at 973-559-6000.
Yeah, I was just going to follow up, a few residents on Brooklawn, to B.A. Cryan about the DOT sign that's been there right on the corner of Route 53 and Brooklawn. I had emailed you about it. I just wanted to see if you've heard anything from DOT yet.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Council Member, I have not. I did see that they had contacted.
They contacted it,
Yeah.
and
So I'll follow up to see if there's any different answer than they've received.
okay. But yeah, no, I would actually, now this will shock a lot of people. I'd actually like to thank the mayor and B.A. Cryan. Over the weekend, we were babysitting our in-law's dog who got away and ended up at the Parsippany Animal Shelter. So to the credit of the mayor and B.A. Cryan and Tom Carney and Kim, they rescued her and made my in-laws happy, my wife happy, who for a moment was worried. So thank you for your help that night. I appreciate it.
No
And I
problem.
know Courtney feels the same way.
You're welcome.
Okay, Township Attorney,
No report this evening, Council President.
Business Administrator.
Thank you, Council President. Just real quickly, I wanted to thank this council for their assistance and leadership in the budget process. Your input was incredibly helpful, and Council President, thank you, and Council Vice President Neglia for your roles on the Finance Committee. When we started this process, the budget was a lot different than it is now. Each step of the way, we were able to fight and claw to get it a little bit lower and get it a little bit lower. And when we brought it to the Finance Committee, it was a really tight budget at that point, but Council President and Council Vice President both had some important input that allowed us to reduce it even further. So we got to this point where we're at 2.22 and 2.13 overall. It's the importance of this is not just numbers, because it goes beyond numbers. It's not just a static document that stays the same and then all of a sudden tomorrow it's like, everybody gets to cash checks and stuff like that. There's a real importance that the township administration, that our CFO, Angelica Sabatini, that this council, and especially our mayor, and our department heads take in making sure we're doing our absolute best for our residents. I've had the great opportunity of being in multiple municipalities as an administrator and an executive director for sub-boards and in different counties throughout the state. And I say it, maybe it gets people upset when I say it, but there's really no other town that has the same level of services offered to residents than Parsippany. It's amazing the amount of services that are offered, and it's amazing the quality of services that are offered. And I know that there's complaints, and many of those complaints are justified. We're not perfect, but you could see the attention to detail from a lot of our sanitation department, from our parks department, from our police. There's just care and concern. When you come in, you may not always get the beautiful smiling face every single time, but you're going to get it most of the time. And if you don't get it every time, if you call my office, we try to correct it. So I just want to thank everybody for being involved in this process to help with this budget. Particularly, I'd also like to thank Angelica, because Angelica came in halfway through the process. It's not easy if she started and had plenty of time to adjust, but we threw her right into it, and she was able to pick it up perfectly, and she worked really hard. She came in on weekends and did everything she was supposed to do to make sure that this budget was as good as possible for you. And that's where we're at. So I appreciate all of the input from the residents and all the input from the council and department heads. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no report. Moving along. Ordinances, first reading, ordinance 2025-09, bond ordinance providing for various 2025 capital improvements for the township of Parsippany-Troy Hills in the county of Morris, state of New Jersey, appropriating $3,570,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,391,500 in bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. Be it resolved that the above ordinance be introduced, read by title, and passed on first reading at a meeting of the Township Council of Township Parsippany-Troy Hills held on May 20th, 2025, and that said ordinance be further considered for second reading and final passage at a meeting to be held on June 3rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. prevailing time, or soon thereafter as the matter may be reached, at the municipal building in said township, at which time all persons interested shall be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the clerk be authorized and directed to advertise said ordinance with the notice of introduction thereof being published in the official newspaper according to law. Motion to approve the above resolution.
Motion.
Second?
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Motion passes. Non-consent agenda, R 2025-111, authorizing change order number 3, final for the Mount Tabor Phase 1 Water Main Replacement Project. Motion to approve the resolution above.
Yes.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. Neglia.
Colin, I have a quick question regarding this one.
You sure can.
We had a family here who had made some statements that we didn't finish work during phase 1. I see it says final. Do we have an update on that? And Judy, apologies, the name of the family again?
The Anderson.
The Anderson.
The Anderson.
I think it's been resolved.
We have an update on
Do
that?
you want to take that, Mike? Or-
They've been moved to the second phase.
Perfect, all right,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's been
Yeah, I
and they're
didn't see an
very,
update on
very
it, so,
happy.
Good,
They're
all
very
right.
happy.
Motion passes. Did I do roll call on this one?
No.
I didn't. Yeah, Mr. McGrath, thank you for messing up my groove here.
That's it, bro.
Roll call. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia? Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. R 2025-112, authorizing the purchase of Microsoft SQL licenses for the Parsippany-Troy Hills Police Department. Motion to approve the resolution above, please.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hernandez, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella? Mr. Neglia? Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Okay, moving along. Approval of payroll and bills list. CFO Angelica Sabatini recommends authorization for payment. One, authorizes payment of the May 23rd, 2025 regular and miscellaneous payroll estimated at $1,650,000. And two, payment of bills from voucher list of 5/2025, which is $1,942,936.91. Motion to approve the authorization for payment, please.
Motion?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath? Mr.
Yes.
Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Motion passes. I was waiting for someone to look over. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia? Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia, you gonna say yes? All right.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
We're adjourned, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, they gave an update. Yeah, they did. They said they got